granniopteryx, granniopteryx. She knows the truth, she's linking every link.
Hello, I'm going to be talking about the Pretti case, which illustrates the problems of mass deportations. But then I'm going to be talking about this, which illustrates the problems of our fracturing society, which the Pretti case is only highlighting. When I was talking about mass deportations in a previous video, I said that that sort of thing is a lot more complicated than a lot of people seem to think. You can't move thousands of people without injustices happening and terrible optics. I actually came up with the idea that you'd see crying babies clinging to distressed mothers being bundled onto aeroplanes. Anything that will tear at the heart of any normal human being. And as a good example of the sort of problems you're going to have with mass deportation, I'm not saying that they can't happen, by the way. I'm saying that there is a problem that we have to be aware of. It's not simple. One of the examples is the case of Alex Pretti. Now, Pretti appears to have divided America, into two completely different camps, and they are both making visuals showing up their case or the other. And that's the worst of it, because there is so much AI rubbish going around, we really don't know what the truth is anymore. But this is Pretti apparently a few days before the incident that ended his life.
This is a moment the news movement filmed on January 13th in Minneapolis, showing a man who appears to be Alex Pretti interacting with federal immigration agents 11 days before Border Patrol shot and killed him. Our footage was analyzed by the BBC, whose facial recognition technology confirmed his identity to a 97% degree of accuracy. On the morning of January 13th, our team received a tip that federal agents were blocking a street at the corner of East 36 and Park Avenue in Minneapolis. We arrived.
Okay, so what happened? Pretti appears to be quite, well, I wouldn't say comfortable, but he appears to be quite violent when he's whipped up. He also apparently had a gun in his belt, and he definitely went to the demonstration that caused his death. He went with a gun. So he was obviously in a very combative frame of mind. And you get from the left this sort of thing. This is it's an AI picture. It isn't actually, first of all, he was apparently an intensive care unit nurse, not a rehabilitation nurse. And it says here, the image is fake. The flag should have 7 red stripes, not 6. AI made a mistake with that. So there are people with an agenda who are trying to make Pretti into some sort of a saint. On the other hand, we have this. This is supposed to be Alex Pretti at some sort of, gay pride event or whatever. No, it's a chap called Kyle Wagner, who is an Antifa nutter of some sort. So it's very difficult to know what the truth is. And then we have this. This was put out by MSNBC, this picture here. This is supposed to be Alex Pretti, and it was the picture that they put up to show when they were talking about the case. This is what Alex Pretti really looks like. And they've given him an all-over tan, cleaned up his skin, shortened his nose, too Jewish. Actually, he wasn't, but perhaps they thought maybe he looked that way. They've widened his jaw. And they've adjusted his teeth. They've also broadened his shoulders somewhat. In fact, In this picture, he looks like a bit of a hunk. And in this picture, he looks like a bit of a wimp. And here again, you have mainstream media priming the pump because they want all these young women to think well of this fellow. Now, we know that Alex Pretti wasn't a gentle, sweet, good-looking fellow that the mainstream media and his supporters say he was. Did he deserve to be shot? I don't know. I saw a post, which I can't find now, which says that what appears to have happened, and yeah, this is as good or as bad as any other. What appears to have happened is that during the scuffle, either he or somebody else reached for his gun, which went off, and then the ICE agents shot him, thinking he was shooting at them. As for the ICE agents, a lot of them are pretty badly trained and apparently not very nice people themselves. So I'm not saying that ICE is, you might forgive the expression, lily white here. What I am saying is that each camp has picked an AI version of this fellow, and they're pushing that as far as they can. So on the one hand, there's this self-sacrificing, good-looking, hunky nurse who is spending his life rehabilitating wounded soldiers or whatever. And on the other hand, we've got this guy here. And you just pick a side. You just pick a side. And this is a social problem we have, which is happening all over. And you just pick a side, and there are extremes of lies, this or this. And then there's this. This is Michael Moncourt. He's a registered nurse at Atrium Health in North Carolina. He's outraged over the death of Alex Pretti and posted online saying, ICE agents better pray they don't end up in hospital because the nurses won't be kind. And that is where it's leading to. Because a nurse's job is to do his or her best to preserve life and make people as comfortable as they can in some sort of illness or accident. And what this man is saying is that that's not going to happen. And that reminded me very much of those Muslim nurses in the Australian hospital who were boasting about how badly they were treating Jewish patients at their hospital. And indeed, only recently something came to light that one of the women who was injured in some way at the Bondi Beach massacre was sent to the hospital where those two Muslim nurses were sacked from recently, and given another name, Karen Jones, a nice white bland name. And they told her they're doing that to keep the press away from her, but it turned out they were doing it to protect her from the Muslim nurses. This is where our society is really breaking down. When we can't trust either our news outlets to tell us the truth or our medical staff to treat us all like human beings, but only to treat us based on their political or religious opinions. And that means the whole social contract between all of us is completely broken. That's a very bad sign. Okay, till next time. You can help my channel by subscribing and clicking the notification bell. That's quite important. And by sharing if you're so inclined. Links to my other channels and to donation methods are in the description. But the best way you can help is simply by clicking like and notify. Thank you.